Everybody's supposed to get on the back, slide. That whole little poster is supposed to be on the back of the truck. Yeah. And I said, before they get on, let me just...
You ever hear a headline so wild it stops you mid-scroll? The kind that makes you double-check the date because surely it has to be fake. Picture this. Jason Statham, the action legend, the man of few words, the human embodiment of grit, sitting calmly in a press interview and suddenly saying he hates 5 Hollywood actors. Not that they rubbed him the wrong way, not that they were difficult on set. No, he used the word hate. The room went quiet, cameras kept rolling, and the internet exploded. Because here's the thing, Statham isn't a gossip guy. He's not the type to throw shade, spill secrets, or stir drama for clicks. He's known for his silence. So when a man who usually speaks through stunts and stoicism starts naming names, you know there's something brewing underneath. And the names he dropped, each one crazier than the last. You think you can guess who's on the list, but I promise you can't. The first name out of his mouth, Vin Diesel. Now, for action movie fans, this might have been the least surprising, but it still hit like a punch to the gut. Statham and Diesel shared the screen in the Fast and Furious spin-off Hobbs and Shaw, a film famous for its behind-the-scenes power struggles. There had long been whispers of tension on set, reports of ego management meetings, arguments over who got the last punch in fight scenes, and contract clauses that prevented either man from being shown as weaker than the other. But until Statham spoke, it was just rumor. He said, "It was like working with a teenager trapped in a bodybuilder's body. Always late, always changing scenes, always trying to control everything." The room froze. Because he wasn't talking in metaphors, he was describing one of the biggest stars in the world like a schoolyard bully. Fans who'd noticed Diesel missing from some press tours suddenly connected the dots. The chemistry that looked icy on screen. Turns out it wasn't acting, but the next name, oh, it gets even crazier. The second name stunned everyone. Shia LaBeouf. Unlike Diesel, these two have never shared a movie, so the interviewer blinked in confusion. Why LaBeouf? Statham explained they were once in talks for a gritty thriller. The studio was excited, but he wasn't convinced Shia fit the role. He voiced his doubts, and apparently, the message got back to LaBeouf. Soon after, Statham said a message landed in his inbox. Not exactly friendly, he wouldn't repeat the words, but said it was aggressive and childish. Then came the killer line. "Some people want to be tortured geniuses. I just want to do the work without someone throwing a tantrum in their trailer." Ouch! That one sentence summed up everything Statham stands for. Efficiency, professionalism, zero patience for chaos. LaBeouf's career, of course, has been marked by extreme method acting and offset controversies. The kind of unpredictability that might drive a structured guy like Statham up the wall. The next person, you'd never pick him. Then came the third name, Steven Seagal. Now, this one got a mix of gasps and laughter. Everyone knew Seagal's reputation had changed over the years, from action icon to punchline. But Statham didn't laugh. He looked dead serious. He said, "I trained for years in martial arts." He turned it into a pantomime. He's a joke, walking around like he's Bruce Lee reincarnated. Except Bruce actually did the work. That wasn't ranting. He wasn't angry. He was just matter of fact. For him, martial arts isn't about fame. It's about respect, authenticity. So watching someone use it as a gimmick, inflate their legend, and still pretend to be a sensei clearly hit a nerve. And honestly, a lot of fans agreed. Online threads lit up with comments like, "Finally someone said it," and "The action world needed this reality check." But if you thought calling out Seagal was bold, wait for the next name. Because this time, Jason took aim at someone from outside the action world, and it gets downright weird. Number 4, Jared Leto. Now we've entered strange territory. Leto's known for his Oscar-winning performances, his band 30 Seconds to Mars, and his deep dive method acting. But his dedication has also earned him, well, a reputation. Statham revealed they'd almost worked together on a psychological thriller. But even before filming, things got uncomfortable. Leto reportedly arrived to meetings already in character, refused to shake hands because it wasn't something his character would do, and insisted everyone refer to him by his fictional name. Statham, never one for theatrics, was baffled. He laughed and said, "It's a coffee meeting, mate, not the Oscars." Relax. He went on, "I don't care how good you are on screen. If I've got to babysit your ego to make a movie, I'm out." That quote spread like wildfire, because for years, stories about Leto's method madness had floated around, sending bizarre gifts to co-stars, staying in character 24/7, blurring lines between art and obsession. And here was Jason Statham, the ultimate grounded professional, calling it what it was, unnecessary. At this point, the interviewer looked ready to wrap things up. But Jason wasn't done. He had one final name to drop, and this one would break the internet. The next person, the last person anyone expected. The fifth and final name, Mark Wahlberg. If you've seen the Italian Job remake, you'll remember both Statham and Wahlberg were part of that slick early 2000s cast. No public drama, no tension, just a fun heist flick. So this revelation shocked everyone. Statham said, "He's the kind of bloke who makes every room about him." Always cracking jokes, making the crew wait while he does promo calls for his burger chain or supplement line. Then came the uppercut. He plays up this Boston tough guy act like he's still in The Departed, but then he's flying private to go speak at a business seminar. Spare me the working class routine. And just like that, every nostalgic memory of the Italian Job got a little more awkward. Because Wahlberg's image, the blue-collar, no-nonsense guy who made it, is exactly the kind of Hollywood branding Statham seems to despise. To him, it's about what you do when the cameras stop rolling, not what you sell to fans. This final name tied the whole list together. 5 actors who, in his eyes, embodied ego over craft. But what happened after the interview might be even more interesting. When the clip hit the internet, chaos followed. Clips spread across Reddit and TikTok. Fans debated whether it was refreshing honesty or professional suicide. Some called him a legend for saying what everyone was thinking. Others said he'd gone too far. Hollywood insiders stayed quiet, but not for long. A few unnamed crew members chimed in online, saying Statham had only said what most of us think but never say. And you can kind of see their point. The industry has long run on polite lies. Every actor is a dream to work with. Every director has a unique vision. It's all smiles, even when tempers flare behind the scenes. Statham shattered that illusion. No passive-aggressive shade, no cryptic social media posts, just blunt, unfiltered truth. And that's what makes this moment so powerful. It wasn't gossip, it was a statement of values. He didn't trash random names. He listed people who, to him, represented everything wrong with the business. Arrogance, self-importance, performance over professionalism. And while some PR teams might have panicked, his fans loved it, because Jason Statham wasn't trying to go viral, he was just being himself. But the bigger takeaway? What his words reveal about Hollywood culture might be even more explosive than the list itself. It gets even crazier from here. Let's zoom out. For decades, Hollywood has thrived on illusion. The red carpets, the flawless interviews, the endless compliments. It's a script everyone follows. You keep your head down, praise your co-stars, and never speak out of line. But beneath that glossy surface is competition, resentment, and ego the size of private jets. And that's why this story hit a nerve. Jason Statham didn't just list enemies, he exposed the tension between two Hollywood archetypes. On one side, the disciplined craftsman who treats acting like a job. On the other, the celebrity performer who turns every project into a shrine for their persona. Think about it. Every name he mentioned fits that theme. Vin Diesel, ego and control. Shia LaBeouf, chaos and unpredictability. Jared Leto, self-indulgent artistry. Mark Wahlberg, brand over authenticity. It's not about hate, it's about values. And maybe that's what makes this so fascinating. In a world that rewards image over honesty, Statham just broke the code. Sure, it might ruffle feathers, but it also reminded audiences that authenticity still matters, because whether you love or hate him, you can't deny one thing. Jason Statham doesn't fake anything. Not his stunts, not his words, not even his grudges. These opinions and information were drawn from other YouTube videos found on the net and online sources. You draw your own conclusion.